Moskov game. This is a really good Moskov game. Like, I love the Moskov here. So, here. You are a very good weak side, technically, on the Moskov. The Roger is going to have a tough time. He's going to bully you still, but you have skill too. You have a way of saying, get away!
I need some space.
And of course, as a Fani, I feel like you could really just sustain your way to the little pickoffs. You have a little bit of mobility compared to the Natan, the Moskov. It's good to see him back. I mean, he was picked previously as well. So now for RQ, how do they want to address this pick? You know, Mirko mentioned how Brody is a good pick, but they have the Roger already in their hands, and they will go for the Kufra and the Fredrin.
Wow. Wow. Kufra, huh? Interesting choice to go for. I guess they're trying to take it. No? No? It just... They want it.
Catch. You want to catch.
Now, okay, the big question. Gani, what do you think? Do you think this Brat's going in jungle? I think so, right?
I think, but yeah, we need to see that last pick. Maybe they're trying to see the composition first, but now with the Kufra, I think they should just commit the Barats to the jungle position.
They're talking to Gary about it. They're
Gary?
asking, like, maybe if you want to go, if you want to play something else in the jungle, that could possibly be a choice for you.
It's Fredrin XP. I completely forgot about it because of Fanny.
Yeah.
So, Akai. Okay, so Barat's XP, yeah. The flex.
Wow.
Okay, they will commit to the flex.
I like that flex. And again, you know, the Kufra pick seemed weird at first, and then you really think about it, and it's just foresight from RQ. They are seeing a potential Paquito / Benedetta pick from Dewa. They would most rather just have a Kufra here to try to deny that pressure away. In these team fights, the Paquito cannot enter the vicinity of the Navaria Fanny or even the Roger with the bouncing ball. So, kind of forced Dewa to force out a Barat in the XP and bring out the Akai. And again, Kimura, not a style to play Barats.
Yeah, he is well known for the split push XP laners, the carry XP laners, but here we have the draft index for both teams.
Yeah, Fredrin XP. I've been a hater of Fredrin XP. You know it, Gani. I hate this Fredrin XP from like season 11, I think. But it can still work. They just need someone to cover and to just be there for the Fanny.
And here we go. The final game of the match number 1. RRQ against Dewa. Will the gods bleed? Or will the kings once again falter?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 3.
Welcome
Let's
to
see the
Mobile
conclusion
Legends.
between RRQ and Dewa United. Who will take the series?
The Rod starting at red buff though. So same as Gary, they want to speed up the process. They want to speed up the pathing from both sides of the jungle as well. So now Bunny Cutie, I feel like he's going to have a hard time in this lane.
I think Bunny's going to do all right. You know, early on, Dreon's definitely going to try to help him out. The orange buff start, though, like you said, he wants to have more pressure with the purple buff. So it allows him to be more active with the purple buff. Now, already going to the enemy purple buff? No, just lethal. Okay. But yeah, for Bunny, still, Weakness Finder, the option to go for him. He likes it so far, and it actually has been doing him pretty good on those chases.
Yes, indeed. And trying to play it slow, no pressure up in the mid lane. Case just trying to exert or get the minions going. And so far, Brianna's just gonna stick with Watt through the XP, through the gold lane, excuse me. And you can already see an early rotation both from the mid lane and the jungle for RIQ.
You know what? I have 2,000 matches on Kufra.
Wow.
Oof. And now seeing this composition, this is not a Kufra game.
Oh, what do you think
This
so?
is not a Kufra game. Well, let's see though. Prove me wrong. Bottom side of the map. It's a 3v1 with the flicker as well. Styling Bunny will secure the first blood. Yeah, that's the only thing that Kufra can do is catch Watt off guard. But other than that, it's going to be very hard for Vin to find an impact.
God, he jinxed it!
Don't you love the caster curse? Don't you love it, man? Right? Like, I mean, it couldn't have been timed that well.
Yes.
That's crazy, man. Like, literally. I like the Cooper here, and Vin's like, yo, okay, just look. Oh my god.
Vin's like, hey, you're a caster, not a player.
He did that. Yeah, that's a good way to utilize it, but still, Dewa gets the turtle, right? Watt will have a significant disadvantage in lane still. Moscow's not a laner. He's more of a wait farm and fight later kind of guy.
Yes.
Invasion. Oh, catches Kimura. No fall damage though. Irad now jumping into the vicinity, and Kufra now will be munched down and taken out. Let's see. Gary soaking damage. Fredrin, not enough damage to take him down just yet, as Dewa United will recover and claim Banana as well.
Good recovery from Dewa United after losing Watt in that bottom lane. They're able to get 2 kills. They're able to get the turtle as well. And RRQ, now they have to chase down with the advantages being brought upon by Dewa United.
And yeah, man, I think even though, you know, Vin got that first blood, I have to agree with Garni. It doesn't feel like a Kufra game. The Kufra was kind of picked up to just try to deny the Paquito Benedetta, and that it did. But now, let's talk a little bit about that gold lane, why the Moskov has so much value, because it's kind of a physical Natan, in a way. You get really good later on in the game, you play just to not lose the lane, and you're really good at that, because now RRQ, they're kind of forced to always put pressure on Watt on that weak side. If Watt just stays like this, if he doesn't get shut down, then they are comfortable playing it to late. They're okay with it. Meanwhile, for RRQ, they're on the hot seat. They need to look for a snowball.
They need to look for a pick-off against this Moskov again. I'll shut it down, but yeah, Moskov transitions very well towards the late game. Has mobility with the, you know, Abyss Walker. You have the Spear of Misery as a self-peel as well. It was shown how Watt wanted to jump in towards him, pushes, but then Watt was able to push him away with the Spear of Misery. So this Moskov is actually a very valuable pick for Dewa United.
See another invasion here from Dewa. 4v3 for now. Rato will be done with the heavy spin. Vin in the backside, isolated, taken out with Rion actually jumping in. Rad, no purple, and as low as well, so no objectives on the board for RRQ.
Again, a purple buff invade from Dewa as RRQ falter again in that skirmish, losing the purple buff and Vin.
The Moskov is a non-lane, man. Like, Roger wants to fight, Watt says no every single time, and this time Irad doesn't have purple buff, so he's really not a threat anymore. It's basically the same game they were playing, but just with better picks now.
Vin jumping and now isolating himself in the 3v1.
Whoa.
Has the flicker and also actually denies or deflects the Spear of Destruction. Now focusing on the bottom side of the map. Rion and Keys combining, collabing, and finding the kill on towards Bunny.
Good push from Watt, giving away that kill, or that Bunny cutie towards Rion. He just needs to jump in. And that's so good. That's so good from Moskov, is that he could join up in this fight with the Spear of Destruction. You know, a 4v4 suddenly becomes a 5v4 because of this ultimate from Moskov.
Yeah, now I'm just really still confused on the Fredrin XP, right? Because, you know, Gani already mentioned he didn't like the Kufra pick here. I've never liked the Fredrin XP, and this is maybe the weakest point of Fredrin XP that we've seen in MP and MLBB. Because the Fredrin, even in the jungle, clears a bit slow. In the XP, he's technically just there, you know? He's just walking, vlogging. And he can't even really hold on in lane alone against Watt when it gets to the late game. Because, again, like when we're talking about Moskov, you'll have that split push pressure. Usually would expect something to hold the Moskov down. But, yeah, the Fredrin doesn't really do that in this position.
No, RQ harassing or trying to harass Watt. But he still has enough resources to somehow have space.
It's so easy for him to just stay out of lane, help in the other parts of the map, and then go back to his lane with the Spear of Destruction, like what he did earlier just now. It almost costed his life though, but he's all good. He has the mobility and the backup from Drian, so everything is going to be fine. Now, as the game progresses, I feel like it is going to be very, very bloody for RRQ. Dewa, that late game scenario is very good, but look at them wanting to collapse in this bottom side of the map, but they call it off. They don't want to commit further in that bottom lane.
I don't think they can even do that. Like, if they dove there, they would have just died. There's a Minotaur and a Moskov with Inspire, and Gary was also kind of hovering over. Could cancel. But Boris walks up and
so
stops
annoying.
the Fanny. And now it's another turtle for free. Should be for Gary, unless Lemon can somehow steal it again.
Let's see. Rad is top side. No, too soon there. Too early from Lemon. Gary will claim the perfect turtle here in this game.
There was no vision again from Lemon to get that steal the second time again. Dewa United is just so fond of disturbing and disrupting this buff from the hands of Irad. He doesn't have access to that privileges, but now Dewa wants to collapse.
Save in now, soaking damage. Kufra will be taken out now. Bunny
Wat.
Cutie will be taken out as well as Watts will happily claim the double.
The power of the Moskov is now in show. It looks like he's able to just rattle through the front line of RRQ. It's just so painful for RRQ to deal with.
Yeah, you know there's a problem if the Moskov is online in the 8th minute, no, 7th minute earlier, right? There is a big problem here. He doesn't even have the DHS. Usually he would wait for the 3-item power spike. But because the team is already so ahead, the Moskov could really just join in these team fights and actually have more pressure than the Roger, who should be the one finding more success in this time frame. Now DHS. He was already dealing that much damage. Now 3-item power spike is done. He's probably going to go for Melfic Roar next. And yeah, Watt is already online, 8 minutes in.
8 minutes is a very premature state for the Moskov to get online, and that spells trouble for RRQ. Now, how does RRQ address this Moskov?
I don't think they can. I don't think they do. At this point, it's like Dewa will have to make a big mistake for them to lose.
Oh my god, now take a look at Vin stuck. Watts will happily kill the kill, but oh my god! Top side of the map is actually solo kill from Gary.
We don't see this a lot in MPLID anymore in Season 13, but I think this is one of the very few complete outdrafts that we have seen.
It's a draft diff.
Like, RRQ cannot do anything. They are just gonna have to eat it. All this damage with no real response, right? I mean, even with the winning conditions that they will have, or that they think that they would have. The Fanny, the Kai's a natural counter already. You can't get your purple buffs. The Moskov denies the Fanny too, so man, I'm really struggling to find a way that RRQ can like come back from this.
Wow. Unless Dewa United slip like they did in the previous game, it's still able to happen. But this time I feel like they won't, because everything is now in their favor. Lanes are pushing, their items are ready, the power spikes are there, and Watt is already online. As a scary Moskov in the 10th minute, going towards the end of it all. And now RRQ, they just need to hold further. I don't know what they can do. Try to stem the bleeding in this scenario.
I mean, it's a 9,000 goal lead in a 10-minute game.
Wow.
What can you do? On a Fanny, who isn't able to get his own purple or her own purple buff.
Yeah, that's bad enough, right? And then you add in the heavy spin, and then the Spear of Misery, and also a Minotaur on top of that, and a Barats. What can you dive? You can't even dive.
Oh.
Very a masterclass from Dewa United in the drafting department. Like how they really want to gamble in that XP lane flex. As Gary with Akai leads the charge, Irad wants to do something.
Yeah, it seems like Dewa will happily take the tier 3 or the base turret top side. They look for the mid now as they are still waiting for that minion to crash. But RRQ, they might have to sacrifice 2 base turrets here in the 11th minute of the game.
Yet to see. We have yet to see this Fredrin.
Yeah, jumps in. No clear firepower, but yeah, there you go. The mid turret will be taken out. Nothing you can do, Gary. In front of the map here, so king damage taking. Oh, you'll have to say bye-bye all 3. Base turrets window, very low, caught, stunned. Daytona's welcome to Rion with the Minion Fury, big. Been taken out now, RRQ full defense, but Dewa United, they are on full offense. And Dewa United will shut RRQ down 2-1 this series.
The god sent down a punishment towards the Kings. They lose everything. And Dewa United makes quick work